Hello, this is Dr. Masi Mutahi, and today I'm joined by
Alan Hoy.
And today we are going to talk about myths, medical myths you've had out there, and we are going to define if they are true or not. So you are in the field, I'm on the other side of the field.
Lulu.
Let's talk about them.
What people think is true outside and it's not true.
You're going to say if it's either true or not.
There's a one crazy one. Yeah, and this concerns the medicines that guys who are HIV positive are given. At a given point, the side effects of those medicines were people growing bigger. Yeah, so there was a myth that if you take them and you have you're thin, you definitely have a very big waist and a very good figure.
Not really. Yeah. So there are things that are most of the side effect. If you're eating well and you're taking the drugs religiously, you'll grow healthy. And if your body
It's
is
not
is the type to grow big when you're healthy, it will grow. But if it's not, you'll still remain the same.
Yeah, so that caused very many people not really faking but stealing meds from the guys who are HIV
Oh,
positive.
that's totally bad.
Or the guys who are HIV positive selling those meds to other women.
And remember, when you take them, there are side effects.
Sure.
Not just the healthy part about side. The on the side effect part, it's usually not healthy because there are liver complications, there are renal complications. So let's not, and there are also drug resistance. So that when you get it now, it won't work. So let's stop taking these drugs.
So for those
If you're not HIV positive, do not take them.
Don't dare yourself to do that because you never know. You can be resistant. You can develop that resistance of those drugs, and then maybe in future you get HIV. What will treat you? Okay, what will maintain you in that?
Yeah.
So what are some of the myths you've ever had?
The myths people come with. The myths were surrounding the sexual and the reproductive health. I've had people saying about the IUD, the one, the family planning called intrauterine copper device, that it moves from one place to the other to the other. Yeah. Where it's inserted.
I have a question on that too. Okay, continue. Where it's inserted?
Where it's inserted, it's usually inserted through the vagina to the cervix to the uterus, and that's where it lays. So it cannot move to the other part of the body.
Yeah, there are men who tell their women not to take that because they feel when they're having an intercourse, it will disturb them from.
Now, about
Is it true?
About it, there are strings on the. I did a video
on the same,
about the family planning, and I was showing how the copper IUD is inserted. Make sure you go and watch
it out.
So now there are strings that are usually left. So immediately they are kept, they soften with time. But immediately they are inserted, we arrange them around the cervix, the cervical curve. There's a curve that's where we arrange them. And then they soften with time. But if you go having the intercourse then, and then they were not trimmed well enough, you can feel them. Yeah. But if they were trimmed well enough and arranged, you won't feel them. But with time, you will never feel them. So depending on the
So it will completely disappear.
Yes, not completely disappearing, soften. And it's really soften and you cannot feel it. Yeah. And remember allow me to use this word, the vagina.
No,
you're
educating people, and you should not.
The vagina is not what you see on the outside. What you see on the outside is the vulva. The vagina is usually so long, and I don't think, unless you have never been measured, unless you cannot get to where the cervix is. Unless your organ is too big.
There are those who have big machines.
And we do rings.
Yeah, those who have they have those big things and they don't know about the rings and all that.
Now maybe, but the vaginal canal is usually
like how many centimeters?
Let's say above 15.
Above 15.
Yeah.
But people usually, I heard of a story like someone mentioned it to 7 centimeters.
have you had, let's say above 15? I'm saying above 15 because we have a shorter one and we have the longer one.
So it's
So
not
it
all the
varies,
same.
yeah.
It's not all the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so
with
the
that,
lie.
you know,
Wait
the-
first. That lie that this thing is still the same is a lie. That notion that the vagina is just a vagina is a lie.
And you know, it's usually not straight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's usually not straight that you're going to measure it like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how do you measure it? Upwards or upwards, straight or downwards?
Let's not talk about that. So back to the maids. Yeah.
Okay. Back to that is on family planning. There are guys who think like the second and third come cannot impregnate someone.
Remember, if a man is potent, you will get pregnant, and you're during your ovulation time, yeah, you'll get pregnant.
Whether it's a second,
the first,
second or
it's the
fifth.
second, it's the third, it's the fifth, you'll still get pregnant.
Sure.
Yeah.
Then there's another myth, still on family planning, when the people say, okay, there's a time, I don't fully understand that. There is way you can do to get a baby boy, and there's what you can do to get a baby girl. So
No.
does it determine the type of the style of sex that you're having, or intercourse that whatever intercourse style you're having, or whatever?
No. Remember, for me, I carry.
And they do it with the timing of the periods. Sijui at this day immediately after, or I don't know.
Now it all depends.
Mm-hmm.
A lady like me usually carry XX.
Mm-hmm.
Now a man has
XY.
a gene of XY. So you are the major determinant.
Of course,
Yeah.
the major contributor and determinant
Exactly.
of what?
You're the major determinant of the conceivable child, the child you're going to conceive. Now, when it comes to that stage whereby it's pre-ovulation or post-ovulation, the Y chromosomes tend to stay longer than the
X.
That's why they usually tell you when maybe you want to have a girl child, you can, and it's between the ovulation time, you start with the pre-ovulatory. If you have sex or you get intimate up to when you're ovulating, the chromosome can be able to wait. But now that it's usually no probability that this is going to result.
It's not
to
a 50-50 thing.
It's not a 50-50.
It's just a gamble.
It's just a gamble because you don't know what chromosomes you have. Yeah,
So it's not true.
it's not true.
People should just do their stuff and
Let's do their stuff and leave the
wait
rest
for
of the
God.
chromosomes.
Wait for God.
And
Wait for God to determine
Definitely,
what comes in and all that. But there are things that people are really doing outside here, and maybe for them it's not working out for them. Any other myth you've ever had?
Another myth was the viral okra. What?
They have changed to cabbage water now, fermented cabbage water. Like girl child will always, I don't know.
Okay, let's learn today.
Yeah.
How we call it? Let me call it yoni, the way people call it.
Yoni.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never heard of that.
Oh, sorry.
So why is it that I
Still
don't know
the
what
vagina.
people call it?
So let me call it the vagina.
I'm telling you, I'm so innocent. I'm so innocent. Okay.
So, the female reproductive organ is able to cleanse itself. Okay. Naturally, and the dirt usually resides in between the vulva or the so-called lips. So that's where you're supposed to clean, and don't use a lot of
soap.
Don't use the soaps. Don't wash yourself. Don't douche. So when it cleanses itself, just wash the dirt. So it has its own bacteria, which are good bacteria.
By the way, in that place of good and bad bacteria, you have to explain more on the same.
Yeah, it has good bacteria that resides. Now, this bacteria, you'll hear people calling them normal flora. They are good bacteria in the gut. There are good bacteria on the skin. There are good bacteria on that
almost
side.
Everywhere. Not
Everywhere.
almost everywhere on the body.
Everywhere on the body has its own good bacteria that protect it
against
other bad bacteria. Now, in this case, when you disrupt the
good bacteria,
or the process of that I've even seen people bleaching, okay, and getting all side of effects, including dermatitis, their skin swell and such. It's because they are disrupting the
Normal good
the
bacteria.
environment of the good
Good
bacteria.
bacteria.
Okay, so now down there, when you destroy the good bacteria, you're going to get other infections, and that's why you'll have this dirt coming in. You'll have a lot of discharge, and I've seen people mistaking that with that I took a lot of okra water and cabbage water, that's why I'm too wet, or I'm too in the area. But the process that is taking place is not the okra water that you drank. Remember, you drank it through the mouth, yeah? And now you didn't take it down there, including I've seen people, it's called fuming the area.
Oh, going for the
Vaporizing the
traditional way.
Yeah.
And okay, in a place somewhere, I don't want to mention the place, but I had for people talking about this in a place somewhere, in one of these countries in East Africa, that they're filming the area to make the place tight. Okay, I don't know more about that. I will go. By the way,
Okay,
I will
we
literally.
will discuss about it.
I will
next.
literally go in that community to try ask them questions.
Now,
yeah.
When it becomes like, if you're too wet, it means the area is preparing itself for
the,
because that is
for the activity.
Yes, the hormones prepare itself there so that it's you when you're doing your intimate, it becomes moister, like to a way that you the lubrication way. Yeah?
Yes.
So ensure that, number one, do not douche, do not take a lot of different substances so that you can become, or do not insert different things. Number two, when it becomes about farming the area, or tightening, let me use the word tightening the area. So you usually go to the gym and you find the muscle is tight, because you're working it. Also, there are good muscles down there. If you contract them and relax them, you take your time, that can tighten.
Dr. Love, Dr. Love is here.
That can tighten, yeah. But
so how do you do that?
They're called Kegel.
Let me be, how do you do that?
I can also be tightening them,
Yeah.
and I'm talking to you as I relax them, yeah. So it's just squeezing the muscles down there for 3 to 5 minutes and then relaxing them. You squeeze them again and then relax them. You'll feel them tightening. That is called Kegel. And don't use balls at it to hold so that you can tighten. How clean or how neat are those balls you're inserting there? So if you want to tighten, do Kegel, or go for vaginoplasty. Yeah?
What is that? For those who don't fully understand.
The plastic doctors,
Is it safer?
Depends. It can be safer if you find a good doctor, or depending on where you're going.
Give them what's safer for them. I think
do Kegel.
Okay, maybe. Yeah. What's Kegel? Okay, whatever that is.
Kegel you have said tightening.
I'll Google it out to get to understand more on the same.
Yeah,
I'm so much
tightened. Yeah.
I'm so much innocent. So that is the thing. Then I've heard you mention the okra water. Guys, by the way, the benefits of the okra water doesn't really go down there to your to your reproductive system.
It never goes down.
It doesn't go there. So stop wasting yourself. Take okra water and take the benefits of the okra
GI
water.
benefits.
Yes, but not for your sexual whatever benefits and all that. Even the cabbage water, fermented cabbage water, doesn't really add anything on the. Okay,
and why ferment cabbage?
It increases. I think it lowers the chances of you getting cancer. Yeah.
Why ferment cabbage? Just take it as a vegetable.
It's much better that way.
It's better that way instead of fermenting it.
Daktari amesema, every day is a learning day. And another myth that I've ever heard was, that the semen, the sperms of a man broadens the hips of a woman and makes
and also the sex position,
yeah.
The doggy one.
I've never heard of that.
Actually, the doggy one
does what?
Broadens also.
I've never heard about that.
Trust me, it's a myth. All of them myth.
I've never. Okay, we are talking this in a doctor's perspective. doctor's perspective, in the health world perspective. So don't take us wrong. And we're trying to help you not to mess yourself up for the things that are not true.
Yeah.
So I'm still born again and I love Christ. It's not a disclaimer on that. And there are these things we talk about to help you understand what you need to go through. So without all that, man's sperm makes a woman's waist broad and all that. So I asked a question: where does the digestive system start from and entered? Does it start?
Starts from the mouth to the anus,
Well,
not
now,
to the vagina.
not to the reproductive system.
Yeah.
Now, how do those things make you broaden your hips?
None.
It doesn't.
So it's a myth. Even the other sex position, the doggy style, I've heard about it. Myth. On to the next.
Have you tried it?
On to the next.
So, okay. So, any other myth?
There are so many myths around it. The one about don't eat a lot of sugar. No, don't eat any sugar because you get tonsils and you'll get pneumonia when you use cold water, or
you get
malaria. Rained on.
No, you get malaria. If you rained on, you get malaria.
Okay, on the tonsils part, it's usually very disheartening to see a mother coming to you and telling them that sija introduce mtoto wangu to the sugar.
Tonsils.
Because sitaki apate tonsils. Let me tell you about it. Number one, sugar is a contributory factor that the bacteria that is causing tonsil can multiply
on a lot of sugar.
More sugar. Yes. But it's not the sugar causing it. So once you are taking your drinks, your hot or the cold drinks, ensure that you brush your teeth and those bacteria, and you gargle, and the bacteria won't multiply. It won't find that place to infect you, okay? So do not cut down on sugar that the baby is going to get tonsils.
But they say more sugars cause obese. They say more sugars will make you obese.
Okay, yeah. That is true. If you take a lot of sugars, uncontrolled sugar, you can.
And you're not working out.
Yeah, you're not working out.
But if you're working out so much, you should take a lot of sugars because you need the energy.
Especially, don't cut too much. There are also another thing that I'm going to cut on carbs completely. Remember, carbohydrates is the one that gives you energy.
Sure.
So do not cut completely on carbs. Yeah. So on the sugar part, on the pneumonia part, on the malaria part, malaria is caused by a mosquito that carries the parasite that is causing the malaria. Not any other mosquito, not the drops of rain.
I think the reason why they are connecting rain to mosquito and malaria is when it rains so much, there is stagnant water, and then the mosquitoes find a better place. So that's why I told you.
Multiply.
Sometimes people give information, but the interpretation of the information
they do not quite understand
the process. So with the rain, it's the issue of the stagnant waters. Then the mosquitoes are getting a better place to hatch, and now go to the houses and bite the people for malaria and all that. It's not literally the raindrops.
And remember, not every stagnant water has the anopheles mosquito, the one that carries the parasite. Yeah.
So it's not all mosquitoes.
Not all mosquitoes carry malaria.
Dengue fever.
Not also all mosquitoes carry dengue fever.
Some.
Yeah.
So what are those that are carried in dengue fever?
Depends. They are mostly when you visit the coastal region, you'll find them, the mosquito carrying them. And also, we are not talking about that. You won't find also the other mosquitoes that are carrying malaria here. Not every other mosquito that bites you has dengue fever or has malaria. Yeah.
So how do you differentiate? It's only doctors who can do that.
The doctors differentiate that through lab works.
Yeah. It's not, you don't look at it with your eyes.
We don't look at it. You come with the symptoms, and then we are like, these symptoms are relating to dengue fever, or they are taking it the direction of malaria. So let me take it, the blood work, to the lab so that I can. So that's another thing. Don't say that doctors are wasting your money on lab works. Because there are so many symptoms that are related. And I've heard that when it comes to people getting a flu and going for azithromycin. Because they do not want to
for the lab test. You're talking about over-the-counter medication.
Yeah,
Self-medication.
Yeah,
Or the Google
self-medication.
doctors.
Yeah. So when a doctor, also that is also another thing. When a doctor send you for imaging, there's a reason they are sending you. And also, if you're not understanding, ask them. Come ask me, Dr. Massing, why are you sending me for this test? If I have not explained, I'll explain to you that this is the reason I'm sending
you for this test.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the myths that you've ever heard about generally
Let's
life?
hear them below.
Yeah,
And we're
let's
going
hear
to
them.
talk about them.
General myths about life that might be linking onto health conditions or just generally about life.
We've also heard about people coming and telling us that we are selling oil. When you rub it on the tummy, it's going to become flat. When you rub it into
to the back, they
glutes,
become big.
yeah, they become big.
The sitting apparatus.
Yeah.
They call them gluteus maximus.
There's a detoxifying. You dip your legs into that.
And then the leg will just start unswelling immediately.
Yes.
The magic behind it.
Yeah.
And people are buying them.
People are buying because they are not understanding. And people are taking advantage of people.
Your ignorance.
Yes, by the way. That ignorance is going to cost you. And here in my channel, at Dr. Masimutahi, we are preventing all those and removing all the ignorances and removing the literal knowledge that we
Wataanza
have.
kurusha mawe. Unaharibia watu biashara, wataanza kurusha mawe. And that's the reason why you should subscribe, by the way. We said your subscription helps us to grow and become much better. Your viewership helps us to grow and become much better. If you don't subscribe, if you don't view, then we will be down there and you won't get this information. Yeah. So do you have any other information? Do you have any other thing that you feel like we should talk about? We will come through for you.
Before you swallow, before you ingest anything, ensure that a doctor has verified it.
And before you do it?
Before you do it, ask. Before you do anything, ask. We are here to help you. DM me anytime, any day.
And we said the confidentiality is high notch. Believe me or not, we will never tell anyone whatever you asked us. If you're a woman and you want to ask me something, I'll keep it evil. If you're a man, you want to ask me something, I'll keep it evil. She will do the same, so don't worry.
So in the comment below, or in the comment section, write the myths you've had and I'm going to answer if it's true or not. But for now, keep it locked at Dr. Masimutahi in all channel and
Alan Hoy on all social media platforms. That's Facebook, Instagram, wherever you want to find me, it's just Alan Hoy.
Bye for now.
Until next time we meet, we love you all.